For our pizza dough, we're gonna need 3 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 package or 7 grams of active dry yeast, 2 teaspoons of sugar, 1 teaspoon of salt, 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil, and 1 cup of warm water. I put my water on the microwave for 30 seconds. We're gonna start by adding our yeast, our sugar, and our salt to our warm water. We're gonna give this a light stir and let it sit there for about 5 minutes until we see that it starts forming a layer of foam on the top. We're going to pour our yeast on our bowl over a standing mixer with the dough hook attachment on. If you don't have a standing mixer, you can use an electric hand mixer. Just make sure you're using your dough hooks. To our yeast, we're gonna add 1 cup of flour, and we're gonna give it a very light mix. We're gonna add our 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil and 1 more cup of flour. Use a spatula to scrape down the sides of the bowl to make sure all the flour is well incorporated. We're gonna add our last cup of flour and we're gonna mix this for 5 to 7 minutes on medium speed until we have formed a nice soft ball of dough. We're gonna knead our dough on our flour surface, and then we're gonna start tucking in the outsides of the dough to form a ball. Cover the dough with plastic wrap and refrigerate for exactly 1 hour. After taking the dough out of the refrigerator, we're gonna add a little bit of vegetable oil to a bowl and we're gonna put our dough inside. Make sure that your bowl and your dough are well coated in oil. We're then gonna cover our bowl with the plastic wrap and a kitchen towel. Our dough needs a warm place so it can rise. I like to put my dough inside of my turned off microwave. We have to let our dough rise for 3 hours. For the pizza sauce, I'm gonna use 1 can of tomato sauce, a half a teaspoon of Italian seasoning, a half a teaspoon of oregano, a half a teaspoon of garlic powder, and 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. This is optional, but I like to use 1 tablespoon of freshly grated parmesan cheese. We're gonna add all of our ingredients to a bowl and we're gonna mix them together. For our pizza, we're gonna need mozzarella cheese, our sauce, and some toppings. Today I'm gonna be using pineapple chunks, pepperoni, and ham. These are the toppings I'm using today, but feel free to use the toppings of your choice. After the 3 hours, we're gonna take our dough out of our microwave and uncover it. This is how it should look. We're gonna be using a 12.5-inch round pizza pan dusted with flour to make sure our crust doesn't stick. Place your dough in the middle and start spreading it out with your fingers. You can use a rolling pin, but it's not really necessary because the dough is really soft. Then you're gonna start using your fist to spread it out even further. If you don't want stuffed crust, you can stop right there. But I'm gonna do stuffed crust today, so I'm going to extend my dough outside of my pan. You can make the crust as thin or as thick as you want. This is your pizza, so it's your choice. Since my pizza is gonna have stuffed crust, I'm gonna put mozzarella cheese all around the outer edge of my dough. Use a little bit of water to wrap your crust. It's gonna help it stick together. Now add the sauce, the cheese, and the toppings. Bake for 8 minutes at 450 degrees Fahrenheit. Use a pizza cutter or a knife to slice your pizza. Then serve and enjoy.